Hi, and welcome to Crafts with Ash DIY and Decor. My name's Ashley, and today I'm bringing you 5 brand new, super quick, super simple Christmas DIYs. There's something for everyone, so I know you're going to love it, so stay tuned. First, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. All right, let's jump into the first DIY. For this first one, I picked up 2 of these Nutcrackers from the Dollar Tree, and you definitely want to make sure that you pick up the ones with the flat head at the top because we are going to be gluing something on top, so you want the flat head. So the first thing I did was go ahead and take off the beard and all the hair. We are not going to be using it. The second thing I did was take these wood discs that I got in a pack from Hobby Lobby actually, and I am just going to hot glue them to the top of my Nutcrackers. Now, you probably want to use some super glue for this. I didn't have any on hand, so I just used hot glue and it seemed to work just fine. But I went ahead and I did this to both, and I made sure to glue the Nutcracker in the middle of the wooden disc. I ran a bead of hot glue around the hat to secure it even more. Once my wooden discs were securely glued on to my Nutcrackers, I took this metallic gold spray and spray painted both of them, and look how high-end these now look. Now we are going to dress these up, but look what a little bit of spray paint can do. All right, now I have this rhinestone ribbon, I guess, from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to use this to kind of make them glam. So I wanted to use these strips, but I did need to just use like one little strip at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a strip off, and we are just going to hot glue them in different spots around our Nutcracker. So I'm going to kind of quickly go through this, and whatever I did to one Nutcracker, I did to the other off camera. But the first spot was around the edge of the wooden disc, and this really helped to make it look more high-end and not, you know, make it obvious that it's a wooden disc. So I just went ahead and used hot glue just here and there around the disc, and pulled it tight and just hot glued these rhinestones all the way around. Look how much detail that little strip added to this Nutcracker already. And if I didn't mention it already, we are making candle holders. So that's why I needed the wooden disc up top. All right, now I'm just going to go through and do the same thing. I'm going to do it around his belt, around his like kneecaps or the top of his boots, that little area, around the base, and around the little strip on his hat. And then I do go around the top of the horn as well. And I just love the detail that this ribbon added, and it made it look so much less plasticky from what they looked like at the Dollar Tree. So I'll just let you watch as I just go ahead and embellish this now candlestick Nutcracker.
I've never cared much for winter. Ice and snow leaves me totally cold. But something's up each year in December. I love it like a miner loves gold. It's never about the presents, the turkey or the Christmas tree. It's all about that glow in my baby's eyes that lights a fire inside of me. My baby's just crazy about Christmas. Just listen to that kitten, the way she purrs. There's something in the air this time of the year. She's crazy about Christmas, and I'm crazy about her. Oh, the deeds that I do to please her ain't a thing that I wouldn't do.
So after I was done embellishing the Nutcracker, I did decide to take a double strip, if that makes sense, and go around the top, because as you can see, I kind of missed a spot while I was spray painting, but the hot glue also was kind of showing from when I hot glued the disc on. So I just thought that putting this over that section would really help to just camouflage all that and hide all of those little errors. So I went ahead and cut a double strip and hot glued that around the top of the hat, and it is touching the bottom of the wood disc, if that makes sense. So once that was all glued down on both of my Nutcrackers, these candle holders are all done, and you'll get a better look at the end. All right, for my second DIY, I saw this on the Kirkland's website and used it as my inspiration and knew I could make it for cheaper than $24.99. So I headed over to Lowe's, and to me, it looked like one of these light covers. So I went to the lighting section and I found this one. It's like a frosted glass, but it does have the like stripes or the ribs on it. So that way there's some detail, and it was like $8 something there, as you saw. So I went ahead and grabbed it. So already we cut the price in more than half. All right, so the first thing I did was went ahead and took off the sticker that was inside, and then I took these pop-up gems that I got from the Dollar Tree, and this is how we are going to go ahead and add our detail. So I went ahead and put this strip around them. Now you are going to see that I kind of make changes as I go, because some things that some things worked and some things didn't. So just bear with me. It's a trust the process thing, but I'm telling you, it comes out great. So I just went ahead and put I think it was like a strip and a half around the bottom of this light. I'm just going to call it a light, a light cover. And then I had these little rhinestones. So I'm going to take the smaller ones and put them around the lip of this light cover. And I'm just kind of spacing them out. I know you can't really tell here, but I will show you in a second. So I just did that going all the way around the top as well. Next, I took this antique gold rub and buff, and this is what's going to give it that kind of like antique gold, obviously, touch. So I just took a really small paintbrush and went around and painted the rhinestones around the top. Now you do want to be careful that you don't get any of the rub and buff on the actual light itself. Now I thought that this might be a good idea to just do on the other beads at the bottom, but as I started painting, it was really hard for me not to get the rub and buff around like the light cover. So you're gonna actually see that I pull all of these beads off, and they are on one strip, as you saw, so it was actually really easy for me to do. So I just pulled them off and then put them on the plastic that it came on. And then I just went ahead and painted the rhinestones right on there. That way it was okay if it got on the plastic, but at least this seemed to work so much better. So then after I had what I needed painted, I just took them off the plastic and stuck it right back on, and it looked so cool. You can already see the detail that this is adding, and it's starting to look like the one at Kirkland's. Now, of course, it's not going to look the exact same like the one at Kirkland's, but this is a really great start. I really like these too because they're flexible. As you can see, I'm curving them up with the shape of the light. So I really loved working with these and using these. Next, I took that small paintbrush again with more rub and buff, and I am just going to lightly go in between all of the I don't know what to call them, the strips, I guess. And this is what's going to add the detail in between. Now, I did start off with the paintbrush, but then I actually went to using my finger, and I actually like the look that it gave it better than using the paintbrush. So it's totally up to you work, but it's just kind of whatever your preference is. Now, as I was going around the cover, I also made sure to go around the very bottom, underneath the rhinestones, as you're going to see, and then around the top as well. And then I did go ahead and paint the very top part of this light cover. But look at that detail too. That was already there. So that added, some texture and, detail too. Now this next part is optional because really you're not going to see it, but I had this gold ornament, so I thought that I would use some rub and buff and just paint it on there to make it less yellow gold and more antique gold. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert it in my light cover to make it look like the inside of a bell. Now, I did have to really think about how I was going to do this, and I probably made it more complicated than it needed to be. But again, just trust the process. So to attach it, I'm going to use this gold sparkly ribbon, and I'm just going to I'm going to cut a piece off. I'm going to string it through the top of the ornament, and then I am going to tie a knot at the top of the ribbon, but I am going to leave some tails hanging, so because I am going to need that to attach to the bell. Now I'm going to start calling this a bell. To the inside of the bell, because obviously the top is open, so I have nothing to tie it to. So this will make sense in a minute when I go to attach it. So as you can see, I have tails there and the knot is at the top. So I just went ahead and dropped it through, and now I'm just going to hot glue the tails to the inside of my bell there, as you can see right there. That worked, right? See? Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take another piece of ribbon. I am going to tie a knot, actually double knot it at the top, and I'm going to do the same thing, and by using the tails, I'm going to hot glue down where the other ribbon is that you can see here. I hope this is making sense. This is just the only way I could figure out how to do it, since the top is completely open. And don't worry, we are going to hide that in a little bit too, so it's not going to look messy. Because of course we are going to go in and add a bow right to the top. So I decided to use some burlap ribbon to do this. So I'm just going to cut a strip of my burlap ribbon, and then I'm going to fold it in like the awareness bows, and then I'm going to take another strip of that gold, that skinny gold ribbon to use to tie the middle and to make it look like a bow. And you do want to make sure that it's nice and tight. Now I do have tails left over on that skinny ribbon, and I actually used it to tie this ribbon on, or this bow onto the ribbon that's already on the bell. That was a lot of words to describe something so easy, but I promise, just watch what I'm doing and it'll be easy. I told you these projects are very simple. It's just that sometimes I have a hard time just explaining what I'm doing, but I went ahead and tied it really tight, like that. And then obviously you want to poof your bow and make it look good, and I just think this bow is so cute. And I kind of feel like this bell it has like its rustic touch, but it has its high-end glam touch too. All right, now I'm just going to tie the bow to that string or that ribbon that's already there. And I am going to double knot that as well. And then I am going to cut those tails off. Just like that. Look how cute this bow looks on top of this bell. Obviously, you'll get like another, a better look at the end. But I just really loved how this looked. Now, because I wanted my bow to be propped up on top of that bell, I went ahead and tacked it down with some glue. So that way it was just propped right up there. And this came out so cute. Oh, I just love this. So cute. For my next DIY, I wanted to make something cute to go on the back of my brand new kitchen stools from La Buona Furniture. I talked about them a couple videos back, and I love these stools so much. They're durable and they're easy to wipe clean, which is very important when you have kids. They are giving us a discount code if you would like to order some new bar stools for this Christmas season. And hey, it's never too early to shop for yourself. So I'll have the link in the description box below if you want to check them out. So let's go ahead and make something super cute for my new bar stools. I just happened to pick up these swags from, I think they're called swags, from Joann's, and they were actually half off of $9.99, so I got both of them for $9.99. Also, while I was there, I picked up these cute little gingerbread ornaments, and these were actually buy two get one free. So you'll see my third one that I got in just a little bit, a little later in the video. But the first thing I did to the ornament was go ahead and take out the hanger, the little metal loop up there. And what I want to do is add this gingerbread to the middle of this swag. My kitchen for Christmas is gingerbread and like peppermint. So I wanted to combine the two, and so I thought that this would be perfect to do. And they already had this made, so I'm like, well, shoot, by the time I bought everything to make that, I would be spending that much anyway, so this just saves me a lot of time. So as you can see, I had to kind of finagle it a little bit. I cut off the two balls, and now I'm just going to use my hot glue and just hot glue my ornament down in the middle of this little floral arrangement here. And then I'll go in and hot glue the bulbs back in. I did make sure to secure my gingerbread man down to the bows or the ribbon or whatever it was touching. That way it didn't fall off. Now I use Gorilla hot glue, so it already gives it a strong hold. So I feel confident that this will be fine. Now I'm just going to take those balls and just kind of figure out where I could fit them in. And again, I just hot glued them back in and just kind of added glue wherever it was touching. That way they were nice and secure. And by the time I was done, I did feel confident that they were not going to fall off. But look how easy that was. And I think the ornaments were like, I think they were $3.99, and then, well, they were $6.99 and then 50% off of that. So maybe like, I don't know. I can't do math in my head, but I think that I figured out that I got 3 ornaments for $6. So maybe like $2 each or something. I don't remember. But I did get 2 of these gingerbread because, as you see, I have another swag there because I have 2 bar stools. So I'm going to do this to that second one and then use that third one later in the video, like I said. And now this is ready to go on my bar stools, and I can't wait to show you how they look. For this next DIY, I picked up this little nightlight from the Dollar Tree, and this is so simple. So every year I do my guest bathroom and Grinch theme, and so I thought it would be fun to add a little nightlight in there. So I just went ahead and took the paint Scallion from Waverly. I find this to be the perfect Grinch color, and I am going to go ahead and paint the back of the nightlight, and I actually gave it 2 coats. Next, I went ahead and cut the Grinch face off of my Cricut. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, I actually saw on Amazon where you can buy these Grinch Grinch face stickers already made. So you could easily do this project by getting those. Now, the Grinch has yellow eyes, so I decided to add some yellow vinyl behind the eyes. So I'm just cutting them down so they fit back there, and just kind of taking my time and making them fit. And then I am going to apply this to the front of my little nightlight, and that's it to that one. It was so simple, but it added such a cool touch, and you'll see at the end what it looks like in my Grinch bathroom when the normal lights are on, and then when I go to turn them off. So definitely hang around for that one. This last DIY is so easy as well. I took this napkin holder from the Dollar Tree and spray painted it with some red spray paint. And this is the third ornament that I got from Joann's, again, sticking with the gingerbread theme in my kitchen. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the hanger. And to glue this onto my napkin holder, I decided that I'm just going to use this little twist tie. Now this bow happened to be sitting next to me, but you can use wire, you can use just like one from a bread bag or whatever you have, but this one just happened to be sitting next to me, so I just used it. Now I feel like you could probably do it without this. I don't know that you necessarily need to use this, but just in my head, I just thought it was the easiest way to attach it. But if you just glue it straight on there too, I feel like that would probably work. So as you saw, I just cut it in half, and now I'm just gluing the middle of each of the strips down to my cookie. And then I'm going to use that to go ahead and twist on to my napkin holder. And again, if you found a napkin holder that was just solid, then obviously just glue it down there. But because it was not solid and it was just like a skinny, piece, I did decide to go ahead and do this method. So I just went ahead and twist tied this cookie onto my napkin holder. And then I went into the back and or on the underneath part, and secured it down with a lot of hot glue. Now you do want to make sure that the cookie is not hanging lower than the napkin holder, or else it's not going to stand up. So just make sure that it's high enough up. But that was it to this one, and I cannot wait to decorate my kitchen for Christmas this year. I have yet to decorate. You're going to have to let me know down in the comments if you started decorating. I did decorate my dining room, entryway, and the Grinch bathroom. And next up is the hot cocoa bar, gingerbread kitchen, and my living room. So I'm excited to get that done. But here it is, and here are all the DIYs from today. Let me know what you think. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. You're going to have to let me know down in the comments which one of these DIYs was your favorite and if you'll be trying any of them out. If you loved this video, click on this one right here to get even more Christmas inspiration. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can catch even more of my content coming up. Thank you so much, and until I see you again, I'll craft with you soon. Bye!